Devolved governance was hailed as the antidote for skewed development programs that marginalized some regions under self-rule.
Can we say that devolution has worked? Yes. I can say this without fear of contradiction. But has it been a success? No. It is too early to assess the success of the devolved system of government.
The system has been critical in devolving resources to the ground evenly.
Devolution is showing results that have not been seen in this country since independence.
The other idea behind devolution was to foster economic development of our people. We also required, under Article 174 of the Constitution, to recognize issues of diversity for purposes of promoting national unity. Protection of the marginalized, traditionally marginalized segments of the society is a key idea behind devolution.
But challenges abound.
One of the challenges of devolution that the people of Kenya have witnessed has been the issue of tough wars. The supremacy battles. First, it was between the governors and county assemblies. Two, we've seen this, the National Assembly and the Senate. We've seen the executive and the legislature, etc.
We all could have done better to satisfy the taxpayers, but we've been hindered across the country. Governors have suffered for so long because of political rhetoric and what you call political wrangling.
No one level of government is supreme. No one level of government is superior to the other level of government. Functions have been assigned to each level of government, and we expect that those functions should be allowed to be performed.
Legislative activity at the county level has been dismal, not only because of lack of public participation, but also quality has been lacking in laws passed.
You can only deliver services or devolve services to the people of Kenya if county governments are able to make their own laws. If you were to take a random survey, you would find that a number of county assemblies have enacted 5-6 pieces of legislation for the last 2.5 years, which is unacceptable. So lack of legislative activity at the county level has been a big challenge towards implementation of devolution.
The law reform chairperson argues that policies must precede legislation. An audit to authenticate the stability of the laws will include county legislation, including those within and without the fifth schedule.
Lack of high-quality legislation, both at the national level and also at the county level. It's not that the laws that we've been drafting are bad. The idea is that policies ought to precede legislation. We have a situation where we do laws both at the national level and at the county level without agreed policy frameworks. If you do that, you will end up with a law that has not been properly interrogated or canvassed. It is useful to have policy which is generally agreed, whether it is a county policy or national policy, on which then you anchor legislation. Because legislation is only one of the many ways of giving effect to policy or addressing policy challenges.
Decentralization of power ostensibly devolved corruption, posing the greatest challenge to devolution.
If you look at the Auditor General's report, the reports of the last 2 years about misuse of public resources by county governments, that is a challenge. But the idea behind some of these stories or these reports that we see is that Kenyans have become more aware of their rights. The expansion of freedom of speech, issues of access to information, which have been brought to fore by the Constitution. This makes the people of Kenya more inquisitive, and therefore you are likely to hear a number of these stories.
Capacity constraints at the county level is also another challenge in devolved governance. Experts also argue that the new structure has only changed the reporting channel, but system remains the same. Moving forward, the country and governance system must focus on social economic rights as envisaged in Article 34 of the Constitution.
The Constitution says that the socio-economic rights will be progressively realized. Progressive realization cannot be forever. We are now marking 5 years. We must have a system of mainstreaming the implementation of Article 43 of the Constitution on socio-economic rights.
Civic education to build capacity of the populace must be encouraged to ensure the devolved system is understood by Kenyans. Lastly, we must remain faithful to the Constitution and guard against amendments that serve self-interest.
The challenge with this plethora of proposed amendments to the Constitution is that it takes us back right to 1963, when immediately after independence, we started amending the Constitution. At that time, it was at the behest of the executive. Now, it is at the behest of Parliament. This, in my view, in our view, is very dangerous.
Achola Simon for Channel 1 News.